Really?
Absolutely. I'm fine.
I tuned in for the family drama Gulmohar on Disney Plus Hotstar, knowing very well that the waterworks are going to be flowing the moment this film starts. Whenever I think about movies depicted in an understated and grounded manner of the complexities of dysfunctional families, I think of movies like Monsoon Wedding, Kapoor and Sons, and Dil Dhadakne Do. A lot of fans from Bengali cinema have also notified me that a similar family dynamic that was showcased beautifully was in Rituparna Ghosh's directed film Utsab, where the family congregates together for Durga Puja. The movies are not necessarily heavy on plot but extremely profound in exploring relationships as the screenplay progresses. Gulmohar focuses on the Batra household, where the matriarch of the family, Kusum Batra, played by Sharmila Tagore, has decided to sell their family home in Delhi and move to Pondicherry. Met with mostly silent resentment and a restrained opposition from other members of the family, Kusum urges the family to spend 4 days together in that house and bid farewell to their abode by celebrating Holi on their last day. The events that unfold in those 4 days that lead to several moments of conflict form the basic storyline of Gulmohar, that boasts especially of a star cast that one can only dream of. One of the most distinct qualities of Gulmohar that you will notice beyond the performances is how the capital of Delhi in which they dwell possesses a personality of its own. As the screenplay progresses and many unpleasant facets of the relationships get unearthed, the cracks start appearing regarding the supposed loving family on the surface. The old world charm of Delhi similarly takes the shape of losing its soul. Builders infest these beautiful lanes that make the capital so aesthetically distinct, and the city takes the shape of scaffolding, smog, and high rises, making one only reminisce about the good old days. The morning jogs of the characters are still at old establishments where monuments have been preserved and one reunites with the passerby they've seen for decades, but it is quickly followed by a couple looking at their view from the penthouse in Gurgaon, a smog-ridden horizon where only construction sounds can be heard. One realizes that one may monetarily be reaching new strides, but the city itself transforms into a hollow nothingness. There are many themes that Gulmohar sheds light on, and in the process it does get muddled in its core focus, the Batra family and what remains unsaid through most of their conversations. As the movie starts exploring the individual struggles of the family members, one then starts to divulge from what made the film otherwise so special and engrossing. This includes a case of sexual identity and the fear of what people may think, and the situation where there is an extremely filmy realization that one may struggle along the process, but at least they're doing something that they love. They get the point across, but in these instances, it felt like the creators were checking off boxes rather than them coming across as organic parts of the premise. I cannot fault, however, the performances of the supporting cast in this film. Amol Palekar, stuck in his ways as the regressive and stubborn sibling of the deceased patriarch, will genuinely annoy you. A clear case of a seasoned actor doing his job with utmost conviction. Suraj Sharma and his startup struggles and animosity with his father is well explored, but its ultimate culmination or resolution is glossy, sugar-coated Bollywood at its finest. Jatin Goswami plays the long-serving guard of the family who is smitten for the domestic help, and this dynamic will immediately remind you of the heartfelt and somewhat superior romance that brewed between Vijay Raj and Tilotama Shom in Monsoon Wedding. Our very own Chandan Roy from Panchayat also is absolutely hilarious in this film, being the agony aunt to Jeetu's romance and infusing his dialogues with English sayings, which can easily turn into a compilation of inspiring quotes that one should inculcate in their real life. Dysfunctional is truly the word for the characters and their interactions in this film. Simran as Manoj Bajpayee's wife was such an inventive casting decision. She fit the family dynamic like butter on toast. And these are the casting decisions across state lines that really make us believe that Indian cinema can truly be Indian with such collaborations. I won't lie, however, the nucleus of Gulmohar is the mother-son duo of Manoj Bajpayee and Sharmila Tagore. There is such an abundant warmth between the two actors that it really is an example of prolific actors just at their effortless best. There is such a tenderness to the way Manoj Bajpayee calls out to Sharmila Tagore, calling her mummy, and such a dignity and grace to Sharmila Tagore's return to the movies. You can't help yourself but smile whenever they share screen space together. The beauty of Gulmohar is the awkwardness of so much that is unsaid in families, and when that gets unearthed, you get truly the most heartbreaking moments from the film, where I could not help myself but weep profusely. Both a result of the brilliant writing and especially the performances of the two leads. Bajpayee's anxiety creeping in as there is a heartbreaking revelation, or Sharmila Tagore's want to reassure her son of the abundant love she has for him. There isn't a moment of insincerity and it really tugs at your heartstrings. Me absolutely breaking down when the mother just opens her arms seeing her son. I was an absolute emotional mess seeing this family drama unfold, and I highly recommend it to you, and I assure you it's such a cathartic watch, especially in a genre that just seems to be rare in this day and age. Moving on to the movie that I kept on getting recommended to watch and had a pretty underwhelming response when it released in theaters is Errata starring Jojo George that has recently dropped on Netflix. I am an absolute fan of the uninhibited nature with which Jojo George immerses himself in roles, and Errata is no different. This is a film that establishes another thing to me that is especially true for Malayalam cinema, and it is the economical manner in which they produce thrillers and do not require lavish or opulent set pieces to convince you of their premise, but a bottle-tight screenplay that is enough to keep you hooked while most of the film is shot in one location, in this case a police station where gunshots were fired and a policeman died. The movie unfolds as the suspected individuals are hauled up together and questioned, trying to understand each one's possible motive to kill the man, each policeman having some scarred history with the deceased. How this ties into our lead actor being one of the twins is very interestingly woven in the screenplay, accurately peeling like an onion one layer after the other, ultimately absolutely breaking you in its concluding moments. I was skeptical from the onset on how this movie with a 1 hour 50-minute running time is going to formulate a convincing whodunit, which will not only be technically impressive but something that emotionally draws you in. Jojo George is one of the key reasons for this successfully being communicated, as he really does give his heart and soul to both the characters, mind you, diametrically opposite to each other in demeanor and actions. The brilliant nature of this film is that it makes you believe that there is no sense of reprieve for a character so despicable, but it always pulls you back somehow with its layered writing. Anjali in the supporting cast and Arya Salim conducting the investigation give fine support, but it would be undeniable that this is a Jojo George show all the way. The climax and how exceptionally it has tied together a sense of identity and how it dooms one's life really makes your jaw drop. I could not recommend this movie enough to all of you. The last movie that I saw this Friday was purely from the motivation to want to see a horror film. The sad state of affairs of this genre truly breaks my heart because I actively seek for horror films in theaters and there is so little coming out from Indian cinema across languages. I remember that the Telugu speaking audience really resonated with the humble attempt made by creators with a film like Masuda. Made on a shoestring budget, this horror film really surprised me. Available on the AHA streaming app, first of all, there is no way, shape or form does it aesthetically look like a low to mid budget film. Some of the creative decisions taken by cinematographer Nagesh Banel will really make you wonder how they've extracted so much from the limited resources they had. Not only is Masuda to be appreciated from a technical standpoint, but from a story POV, where it takes a leap beyond just being a possession story of a woman scorned in history. The film focuses on the unlikely duo of Gopi and Neelam, who notice that Neelam's daughter, Nazia, has been possessed by a spirit, only to further investigate and understand that there is a disturbing history to the neighboring building of their apartment where something catastrophic happened. The movie does take a halt in proceedings in being truly immersive, as the movie explores Gopi's personal relationship while trying to get to the bottom of the history of the spirit, but it doesn't take away from what the creators are attempting to explore. The sequences, especially trying to understand the origin of the spirit, really are fascinating. The background music by Prashant Vihari further heightens the moments where you know shit's going to hit the fan. Not being low-hanging fruit regarding just jump scares, but genuinely building up the screenplay to acknowledge that the stakes are extremely high and the case of life and death. I wondered while just exploring the potential of Masuda and what they accomplished, how there is such a thirst for compelling horror films in the Indian market, but so little that is being offered to the audience. I really wanted to know from all of you, why is it that we have such a lack of movies in this genre while having such a rich culture of eerie folklore that can easily translate into horrifying stories? Why do we only make horror comedies now? Let's discuss a few horror ideas deeply embedded in the culture of states that can further expand into brilliant storylines. I think we really do need a revival of a genre that is mostly dead in the commercial space. The possibilities are truly endless. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about Gulmohar, Masuda and Errata. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.